I'm Kate. I'm an account executive on Intercom's Dublin team. So day to day, I work on the sales team. And I've been there for about 2 years now. And my role involves helping businesses understand where they can leverage customer messaging and at what point in the customer life cycle they can do that. And I work with businesses across a wide variety of industries. So think a consumer messaging app, for instance, software companies like Mews, or even businesses in the hospitality sector. And that, for me, is one of the most exciting sectors that I get to work with, because the value of customer messaging is apparent at every step in the customer lifecycle. A little bit about Intercom. Intercom is a customer messaging platform for sales, marketing, and support teams, so they can work together to better serve their customers through messaging. We have about 25,000 businesses who are on the platform now, and last year we powered over 500 billion conversations for our end users. So you may not be familiar with that description of Intercom, but you may have come across us out there in the wild somewhere, whether it's the chat on a website, or whether it's within Mews' platform. If you're a customer of theirs, that's what you would have used to communicate with them. So you probably have stumbled across us somewhere out there on the internet. But today I want to talk to you about this idea of a digital front desk. And I want to take a moment and paint a picture for you, because this is the lobby of the hotel that I worked in before I ventured into the tech world. That's actually me in the photo. They took these pictures when we did the opening. So I worked front desk, and my role there was kind of threefold. It was to greet and welcome guests, to answer any questions they might have, and to make sure they could complete their bookings. So I want us to take a step back for a moment and really think, what would happen if that front desk wasn't there? You walk into a hotel lobby, and there's no one there to greet you. There's no one there to answer your questions or help you complete your booking. Because that is, in fact, what's happening when your website visitors come to your website and try to connect with you online. There's oftentimes no one there to personally welcome them or to help them get set up and booked in. And it's a noisy and crowded old world out there on the internet for consumers who are purchasing experiences online. There's lots of different ads trying to catch their attention. And not only that, but the way businesses talk to these consumers is broken. It's very spammy. This is like a snapshot of my inbox. There's 5,000 other emails in there. It's stiff via contact forms, and it's impersonal with do not reply email types. And in a sector that's where search is dominated by large online aggregators, you're going to need to do something special to stand out from the crowd when you're vying for direct bookings and business. And I think that the way you can do that is by bringing the values of your front desk to your online presence. And you guys are best placed to do that because you're already providing a great customer experience in one area. So why not translate this welcome and greet, conversation and conversing and converting, and the supporting and self-serving to the digital realm? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm first going to start with this idea of welcoming and greeting. So businesses are investing a lot into driving traffic to their site through demand generation activities, marketing strategies, all to get visitors to hit the site. And there's over 1 billion emails being sent out there through MailChimp alone every single day, and over 2 million blog posts are published. So it's really noisy, and there's a lot vying for attention. So when you earn a site visitor and they finally come there, a clear call to action is always going to be necessary so you can convert them. And what better way to convert this site visitor than through a personal welcome? Now, you're probably thinking, how can I personally welcome every site visitor who comes to my website? But it's really about this definition of personal, because personalization is a hot topic and trend in the industry right now. And for me, personal is being contextual and it's being relevant. So make your call to action contextual. If you're running referral campaigns, capture the leads by encouraging them to sign up with you. When we're thinking about it being relevant, it's going to be behavior-based. If someone was wandering around a lobby and they looked confused, you'd probably ask them if they needed any help. Same goes for visitors on your site. If they're taking time to complete their booking, it's worth reaching out to see if they need any help. And offering to connect them with an expert. You're understanding their behavior if they're browsing your events and conferences section enough to say that let's connect you with someone who can help. So that is helping bring a great experience to people when they hit your site. But what's the next step after you greet someone? You usually say hello, and then you have a conversation. So I want to talk about conversion strategies and how we can manage these through messaging. So I have a question for everyone. It's something I want you to reflect on. When was the last time you used a messaging app? So for me, I sent a picture of this incredible venue to the guys in the office. But for all of you, I imagine you used a WhatsApp or a Facebook today. So it won't surprise you when you learn that the 4 main messaging apps have surpassed the 4 largest social networks in terms of monthly active users. Messaging is everywhere. And because consumers are messaging like this in their day-to-day lives, they expect to be able to do that with businesses. Consumers are 53% more likely to shop with a business if they can message them. But yet, consumers will often come to a site and see barriers in their path to purchase. Lengthy contact forms are a way to turn hot leads into cold ones, and potential guests of yours into guests of another hotel. And oftentimes, even if a potential guest or a lead is interested enough to reach out, reports say that they will wait on average 2 days for a response. And we're all the on-demand generation. We order it now, we buy it now, we stream it now. And we expect to be able to have these real-time conversations. And these conversations and this messaging and placing a messenger on your site is not only good for consumers, because that's how they want to communicate with you, but it's also good for your business and can directly impact your bottom line. On average, website visitors who chat with you are 82% more likely to become customers. I thought that was the bell. I can't be there already. But not only that, if they chat with you, they'll on average pay you 13% more than those who don't have a conversation with you. So when considering the sort of experience you want to deliver online, messaging is crucial. So I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, Kate, this all sounds great, and I want to give a wonderful experience to everyone who comes to my website. But there's hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people who are coming to my website every month. How am I supposed to personally welcome and have a conversation with every single one of them? And that's where we need to leverage automation to enhance the user experience. So when we think about automation, it's a tricky old topic because a good customer experience and automation often doesn't come to mind. Because when we think of automation in a sales and services setting, often it's with a bad chatbot, one who doesn't answer your question or gives you the wrong answer to your question or just leaves you waiting for a really long time. But I want to show you and demonstrate through some real-life examples how automation can be valuable for customer experiences. So think about withdrawing money. In times gone by, you would have had to go into the bank, you would have had to wait in line, potentially bring ID, bring your banking number, all to get £50. Whereas, thanks to the ATM, it's a quick and seamless process. You can simply pop your credit card into the machine, and you can get that £50 right into your hand. Same goes for checking in at the airport. This is something that I did this morning. A process definitely made better through automation, because we've all been there in the queue with families with 5 and 6 and 7 different suitcases, and it's a horrible experience to have to wait for a really long time behind them while they check in. But technology and automation has made this process more simple, because you can simply check in online and streamline the process. But you're not going to be able to automate every customer experience and conversation. There are some conversations that just have to happen with a human. Let's take, for instance, something as big as booking your wedding. You're not going to want to fill that out online via a form by yourself. It doesn't sound like fun, and it doesn't conjure up images of a magical day. When you're making a big decision like that, you want to be connected with a human. So when we think about the idea of automation and how we can use it in relation to customer experience, it's all about understanding which experiences need automation and which ones will be made better by connecting with a human. So I've taken the liberty of coming up with some solutions and some questions that I think would probably be relevant to a lot of you in the room. So the first would be, where can I find my booking reference? And that's a simple and repeatable process. That's something that a bot could suggest to a website visitor. But how can I make a booking with you? It's probably a conversation you'd like to have with a human, because you want to make sure you're going to convert that conversation into a sale. Similarly, I want to rearrange my booking. Once again, a simple, repeatable process that a customer can follow. Whereas if someone wants to cancel their booking, you probably want your team to jump in there, especially depending on the value of the booking, to understand why they're going to cancel and maybe to try and win back that sale. So this is how we demonstrate how we can use automation to enhance customer experience. And it really comes back to understanding and knowing where we can leverage automation to make the experience better. So to kind of summarize and wrap everything up, customer service and support is now a differentiator when people are choosing who they're going to do business with and what they're going to purchase online. So the majority of consumers say that they would try a new brand for a better service experience. So what you need to do then is build on the great experience you already provide, but bring that to the digital realm. Bring your front desk online to make sure that you are differentiating yourselves and winning that business. That's all from me. I think I actually was fast. So thank you very much. Just a quick thing. We're very proud of our partnership with you guys, and I'm very grateful for you inviting me here today. So if anyone would like to give Intercom a try, please come and find me at the coffee break, or you can shoot me an email at kate@intercom.io. It's very simple to remember. We can give it to you for a month for free to play around with and get set up. So it's all yours, basically. Can you do a couple of questions?
Thank you, Kate. I think you wanted the shot, right? But we made the time too long for you.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Right, so are there any questions for Kate and for Intercom? Yeah, this gentleman.
Two questions, actually. One was, maybe could you give a couple of examples of who's using Intercom amazingly well? Like internally, who do you say, these companies or these brands are, so then maybe when we go home, we can check it out and see how they're using it in a very segmented way. And then the second question was, do you guys discuss this internally? Will there be a time where everyone gets fatigued with chatbots, and chatbots go the way of maybe email did? Everyone's talking about chatbots and everything being the future, but eventually maybe people start doing what they did with pop-up ads and they switch them off. And do you guys get concerned about that?
So question one, examples of companies who are using Intercom really well. One that comes to mind is a company called SalesLoft. You're probably not familiar with them, but they are a B2B SaaS platform, and they use Intercom within their app to trigger different messages to encourage us as users to take certain behaviors, but also to inform about webinars and that sort of thing. There's also another company, and I think they're based in the UK, they're called TradeShift, and they use Intercom on their website for this idea of capturing and converting leads. And they've seen a 32% increase in the number of sales opportunities they've generated just from using this proactive messaging online. So when we think about internally, who's implementing Intercom really well, it's usually who's getting really great results and how can we learn from them and how can our team learn from what they're doing. And the second question? Whether we'll become fatigued by chatbots. Yeah. And I think that it's a good question and a really interesting one. We could probably philosophically wonder what will happen till the cows come home. But I think it all will come back to this idea of when can a task be automated for a better result versus when does a human need to step in. So I don't ever see a time when chatbots will take over entirely. But if a chatbot's going to help me get something done quicker, then I'm not going to get fatigued by it. I'm going to be like, great, that was a great experience because I got the answer I needed as quick as I could.
Yeah, hi. I really like Intercom as a SaaS company. And we do a lot of chat, but not in the sales process, but with our guests.
Okay.
And a few months ago, I reached out to you guys and to see if we should use Intercom for that. Mm-hmm. But then basically the response I get is we're more focused on the sales process and not that much with your internal customers or with your existing customers once they're customers. Is that something how you see it, or?
No, definitely not. I mean, a whole part of what Intercom does is helping our customers both support and retain their customers. So whether that's through something like a knowledge base that can help you help your customers self-serve, or whether it is using the chat to answer their questions, that's a huge part of what we do. We did potentially maybe a few months ago have a focus on this capture and convert idea because it was a new use case for us. It was something we were working to develop. So that might have been why at the time there was more of an emphasis there.
Okay, thanks.
So we've been using Intercom on our website for a long time, and it's really surprised me how much. So when we started a few years ago with the chatbot, we had a different one, and we really didn't get interaction. And then we switched to Intercom, and suddenly, I don't know what you guys do, but suddenly chats started coming in on the website, like 3-4 chats a day. But we were using Freshdesk and Zendesk for our customer ticketing tools, and then we looked, why don't we move everyone to Intercom from every channel, right? So you come into the website, inside the system queries, through any platform where we could implant it, we would implant it. But one of the only reason why we said no was exactly that, because we heard that there is no actual support when you have problems. And we did move across, and it's been the best experience we've had, just because the documentation is solid. The integrations that they have are way better than what we have with Freshdesk or Zendesk. And it just lowered all of our response times, because chat is just, our team, she's doing it right now, right? You're on Intercom right now, responding to customers on the website. And it's just powerful, and I have the app installed. So even if you have a reservation team that goes offline at 5 o'clock, I get the messages on my smartphone from the website, and I can respond to customers there and then. And it really just changed our business tremendously. But yes, that was the only fear that we had, and we don't need that. We just didn't need the support. That was.
I think that's, you hit on a couple of really good points there. The first is the level of integrations. We've just launched our new app store, and there's over 100 on there now. So whether you want your guests or potential guests to book meetings with you, whether you're do viewings or whatever it is, you could have those be booked automatically. There is actually an app on the App Store that's also helping through the bot book reservations. That will come up as like a suggested next step. So I think I'll need to get the name for you, but there's definitely one on there. But also in terms of the support team and the product education team, I work with the product education team every day because we build out campaigns together, and I lean on them to try and educate my customers and make sure they're set up for success. And they really understand Intercom and really understand our users, so they're always there to try and improve how people interact and how people are using it.
We just started testing a automatic tagging tool, so it reads the conversations and it started tagging them, so that we can learn from the data what information we're clearly lacking on our website, so that we can then go back to our website and improve what we put on there. We just get excited about the integrations you have to improve it on top of it. Sorry.
Good to hear.
Just to add to it, one of the things that I never really kind of realized when we started looking at Intercom, and not to be too much of a fanboy as well, but is basically the fact that it becomes essentially a feature of your website that's like your notice board. And I think that that was the one thing that, I think everyone in this room probably tries to create their website in the best possible way. But the thing that you can do with Intercom is literally just present the most important up-to-date information. And I think that's incredibly powerful for people who want to kind of understand, what's happening at your hotel right now, what's happening in the restaurant right now, what kind of scene is there in the bar. And I think, once you start linking video to all of these things as well, I think that's where it's really, really powerful. And that's where that kind of future thing again starts, like the shoes.
And that's where the front desk comes in, because you all tailor your messenger to your business. So if you want to promote certain content, people will see that in your messenger. If you want to have meetings booked with you, people will see that in your messenger. So that's your own home screen, essentially, and the front desk, the place that your visitors see when they come to interact with you. Any other questions?
All right, so thank you.
No
Thank you once again.
Thank you.